Reproduction of a letter sent from Lanyssa Ryssyl, Aransor of Sorrows, to Moraine, the Blade of Twilight. Sourced, Archives of High Lore Seeker Mathis.
Pale Seer. I write to you from the northern marches, where Cador's dominion thins and the mountains begin to die. Few living souls tread this far, and fewer still understand what lies beneath the snow. Our tombs are here, the resting places of those who died, defending the Winter Father in his final hours, the last Nis who stood between Nysor and annihilation. Their names are gone from mortal record, their graves sealed beneath drifts of storm and secrecy. But the ice still holds their vigil. What lies here must remain hidden. These were sacred sanctuaries meant to sleep forever, far from mortal eyes. But something has changed. The wards have begun to stir. The dead grow uneasy, not angry, but aware. Some faint spark calls to them, and I fear it may not be a mere echo of Nysor's lingering essence. In my search for the source, I have traced a pattern among the crypts, specific sites, bound together by spirits of great influence. I dare not name them plainly, even on parchment, but they form a path of remembrance, a way that should never be walked again. I will not let these spirits be turned to restless purpose. My final hunt and I will go to each tomb in turn, to settle the spirits and renew the sanctity of their rest. If something reaches for them, I mean to find it and silence it. If your meditations have grown colder of late, if the light of your chamber flickers, though no draught stirs, it may be that you, too, have felt this awakening. I ask only your counsel and your prayer. If I fail, let no one else come north. The dead should not have to die twice.
Archivist's note. We have no records of Moraine, Blade of Twilight, ever being referred to as Pale Seer. Perhaps this is an unknown honorific from Nis culture. Further research will have to be conducted.
So here we are playing our first game of the Echoes of Winter narrative Cadre of Iron missions. We've got the matchup between our two new boxes. So these are the Revenant Covenant, which is the new soon-to-be second Orgoth army, and Fane of Nero, which is going to be the soon-to-be released second Dusk. Was it Fane of Nero? Yeah, Fane of Nero, which is going to be the second Dusk army. These are the boxes that came with the starter box, the two-player box, and we're just going to run through Company of Iron because they make for a perfect match. And we've got this nice narrative match. So this one
Cadre
is
of Iron.
Cadre of Iron. What did I say? Company of Iron?
Company.
Oh, Lord.
Bold-ass bastard.
So these basically have us playing, we're hunting ghosts, is that correct? We're hunting ghosts in these graveyards?
Yeah, so the situation is that Anathia is trying to go through this graveyard of a bunch of honorably dead elves, and she's going to awaken the spirits, she's going to interrogate them, maybe, lay a couple traps for the ghosts later on, and Lanyssa is, very correctly, going through and stopping her from doing this. And similarly, she's going to be marking the graves as cleared or protected from Anathia. Now, as you go through and do this, the ghosts, they're not going to take it laying down. So they're going to pop up every now and then and just kind of take a swipe at you. Just in the friendly way.
And controlling the objectives that have ghosts on them or ghosts around them, it gives you additional points. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't want to have the ghosts hitting you, but at the same time, it gives you more points. So currently, right now, we're going through the deployment as well. I've got an objective behind the tower that I'm going to put one of the warriors behind, the other two being base to base on the right-hand side, trying to angle themselves for the bottom objective. And I think for the most part, my caster and cohort are just going to kind of go towards that central objective and ideally just control a triangle of 2 objective markers and then the central one.
Yeah, I think my plan was to be a little bit more conservative with deployment, because as you go through and you score this, you score based on if you control more graves than you previously controlled. So obviously you start at 0, so as long as you control 1. But then if I end the turn controlling 3 of them, and the next turn I gotta control 4 of them, so I don't want to really push real hard. So instead I'm kind of intending to stay back. I kind of want to spend the first turn kind of sniping at you, maybe pick off a couple guys, and make activation order much more difficult for you.
I see what you did there, sniping as you're deploying Cylena, you monster.
She is a saint, and I will hear nothing bad said about her.
So we're going to go into turn 1. I believe I won the roll to go first?
I actually did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
So there's not a whole lot going on. Obviously, you're putting prey on her favorite gentleman over there. She's just going to try to pick him off as the game goes on. And so, like I said, we're trying to be... I guess you did win the run. Able to go first.
Yeah, and the advantage of the shield guard off of the Revenant champion is I hopefully can sack one of those Cylena shots so that she's not actually hitting the prey target. I'm not necessarily saying that's going to keep the prey target alive, but one less shot out of her 2 might keep him alive. Especially with the weaken, it triggers on hit, so you have to hit the warrior. The cursed armor goes off, triggering the weekend, and then I can still shield guard. Right now, I'm basically, I'm kind of following a note that you were just mentioning. I'm positioning myself for that bottom objective. I plan on scoring the one behind the tower first, so that I can go after the objective on the left-hand side with my warriors. However, Cylena has other plans. She is shooting the warrior that kind of is off-screen. But it gives you the ability of, sacking it, or you can see I was measuring to make sure it was in the shield guard range for the shot. And just trying to keep the pieces alive, stay in position. I honestly, when I was going through this, I had no idea how I was going to deal with her, because she's just going to kind of hop in and out of that forest and shoot anything that gets near to her.
Yeah, you can tell we've played this matchup a couple times where you've put a lot of effort into working on mitigating her and trying to kind of make it a little bit so that she's not just picking a guy up off every turn.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things I just want to touch on is when I was doing my deployment, I placed that wall very specifically because Anathia has that spell which kind of pulls me towards her. And I'm kind of sick of you just picking on my tigers, lions, bears. I don't know what they are. And so the idea behind that wall being there is I can cross over that no problem, but you're not going to drag me past it. And so I kind of wanted to have like a little stop there.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I do have the Pathfinder card, if I remember correctly. Probably should look that up, but yeah, I plan to deal with that wall later. But again, my original intention was score top, score left, score center, and then if I get cheeky and adventurous, I can go for my 4th on what would be the right of the screen, top right of the screen, what I kind of considered your sort of secondary expansion, your natural expansion being the one at the bottom. So I will position to make sure that you're not scoring it, but at the same time trying to use the objective to block any charge lanes. And this is where I'm kind of fudging around with the movements and all that stuff to see if I can't make sure that charges don't happen immediately on turn 1, because you still have activations with those bears, lions, cats.
Yeah, I'm not so great at knowing what fantasy things are.
I believe they're manticores.
don't know. I don't even know their names.
No, it's Benkei. Benkei best.
Oh, yeah. Benkei Spanky.
The other thing that I'm kind of worried about is Lanyssa, if I remember correctly, she has like Windrush or something equivalent of Windrush.
She has yeah, it's called Windrush.
Yeah.
Again,
So-
I don't know the names of my spells, but I know that it lets me move for twice.
And that's the thing is it's always got that non-linear approach of, oh, well, you're over here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and Windrush in this direction, and then I'll be able to pull off cheeky charges. So though this game does not allow you to win through caster kill, I feel like Anathia is a pretty strong contributor to these smaller point games, and I don't want to necessarily hand her out. So I'm always kind of cheekily aware of where Lanyssa is and preparing for that double move. In these smaller point games, losing your caster sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the things where I think with Anathia, because you have that ability to go up to 14 focus on your feat turn, like you can just kind of start like gadding out spells. And anything where you're kind of able to remove a lot of kind of like that infantry, where you have those activations, you're just able to kind of have your Warcaster take those infantry out of the game really quickly, all in one go like that. That's a huge swing. Especially here where you're trying to spread out, you're trying to control all these different things. And there's really only one place for your battle group to go. They're just going through that middle. And then everybody else is just dependent on infantry.
Yeah, you're definitely being cagey with your moves here. I've seen
an elf
sometimes
should
where you yeet them off, and then this does not normally the normal yeeting approach that you have.
I'm a very patient person. I am not a yeeter.
The,
I don't know
the-
where you're getting that from.
The patient hunter.
Exactly. I'm a narrative player.
So we're both kind of positioning ourselves for one and more, so getting one objective and more than we had before. I am looking to position myself to draw one of my cards, and I think you're looking to just kill me.
I am hurt by that. But yes.
But yes, also yes.
Again, it's the sooner you can reduce the amount of activations your opponent has, just the better life is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. In these smaller point games, activations are key. So I think that is, let's see, the one pointing up is Sasha. So I think that's Benkei is going in on my Carnal Hound. But I don't think you quite were able to pull it off. Weakened heavily, but I don't think you were actually able to pull off the kill.
Is this one of the many where I failed the charge attack?
Nope. This was just flubby dice.
Okay.
Now, were you actually going in for that? Do you have the card for killing?
Probably should
That cohort model?
this voiceover. I have, let's see, Breakthrough, Hit and Run, Old Faithful, Blessing, and Bulwark.
So no, because I think it's matey. So this wasn't necessarily going after the Carnal Hound. Wasn't necessarily going to get you a point. It was just going to reduce activations.
Yeah, and that's also the kitty that I put the armor buff on. So kind of, I feel a little bit better putting him in. I mean, he's still not the greatest stat line, but 14-18 isn't terrible.
In hindsight, now that I'm looking at it, I'm also noticing because the two cats have the buff against each other, you're positioning them there as well. So it looks like we're now rolling for who is where the ghosts are.
Yep. And hilariously, one guy pops out on your dude and does like boxcars for damage.
Yeah. So we go into turn 2. We are now 3 and 2 on points. So I'm slightly ahead. I was able to get the Old Faithful card. But because of the activation order, that means you get to go first.
Woohoo!
So I think this is just...
there's my check for Fury Management.
And here are my vengeances. I didn't really necessarily have anything to swing at, so I was kind of more of using it as a positional to try and draw a line of sight.
And if you're watching this, the soul tokens are marking the tombstones where a ghost popped out.
Oh, good call. Yeah. Because there's a soul there, or spirit.
So those are worth extra points. And what I did is the previous turn, I just made sure that I was only holding one objective. So now all I have to do is hold 2 objectives in order to kind of progress my way through this graveyard.
And we have... so I've currently got Anathia up there on the tower. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think I'm maybe doing some repositioning.
You're going full send with her.
Oh, this is the... Oh, you know what? This is the one where I was like, I need to... Again, I'm activation hunting. So abandoning the tower and going after the... for Benkei, to try and remove Benkei. She has a good spell tree. Don't get me wrong. Like I like Anathia's spell tree, and I like the fact that she's even got the ability to channel through her cohorts. However, you cannot channel through your cohort when your cohort's engaged. But the 3-inch reach that she does have, and the ability to be able to buy and boost, in addition to the fact that every time I hit, I can increase the fury. So you had just passed your fury threshold check. Having Anathia go in and attack and add more fury to it, I'm hoping is going to potentially cause outcomes that if I can't kill him, at least you won't have fury to be able to attack with him, or at least not attack a lot beyond his basics.
I just enjoy the fact that I have spring blades, so you're just killing yourself.
Yeah, that's one of those bitter things where I'm like, I know I need to do this, but every time I hit him, it hurts.
I'm pretty okay with it. So yeah, so my kitty's still alive. He's gonna lick his wounds. And then I'm just sending in the first of the last watch. Is that how we say that? Which would be, I believe, Riva with her 2 swings.
And I think you were trying to actually see if you could fit in where you could reach both the cursed and the champion, but there was just too far of a distance on there.
But she does her job. She knocks a guy off. And it's also a model that hasn't activated yet, which if you're like looking for what order to kill models in, getting a model that hasn't activated yet is really useful because he loses all of it. But then additionally, you want to just be careful with your turn order because that can also affect who's going first next round. So you want to kind of manage that balance between killing things and killing things in the right order.
Yeah, so we've got... I'm looking at positions here because again, it's one of the situations where I fill up one of the beasts if I can get the bone, or the not bone golem, barrel ghoul up, and if I can smash the second beast, I'm looking to remove your boost ability down to just Lanyssa. Obviously, the last watch are weapons masters, so they kind of have built-in boosting on them. But buying and boosting is one of the things that my list does not want to see because I need to survive on my armor and my toughness, and you having the ability to attack multiple times sucks for me. So I try and go in and go after the second cat. It also positions me so that in the following turn, I can potentially either go into Lanyssa if she sticks around, or I can back up into the other objective to score a point in the back right near where the spirit is, assuming the spirit sticks around. Now Lanyssa hasn't gone yet, but it kind of puts a threat in the play of, are you going to, wind rush around me to get somewhere else, or are you going to stick here and go after me? And I can kind of keep you bottled up over here, away from any of the objectives. But at the bare minimum, we get the cat. More of a dog person.
I can tell. Holy cow.
So you're down one cat, your other cat's...
awkward position.
I was going to say, you're down one cat and your other cat's full. What your plan here?
Oh, man. And it's funny because you're talking about the... well, my plan was to activate the cat and kill your puppy.
Yeah, apparently initials are still enough.
Well, I mean, he was down to, like, nothing on the health.
Yeah.
And again, it's removing those models that haven't activated yet. Your Arrow, Ghoul, King, White came in and killed my kitty that hadn't activated yet, so I get a little bit revenge. It certainly does hurt my damage output to his flank, so I'm upset about that. And he's just positioned super awkwardly to kind of block me into my deployment zone as well.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that I'm also going to run into is, though I will have models on the table, the models are losing hit points. And in Cadre of Iron, when you're scoring, or when you're determining point scoring, you have to determine by how many wounds. So stuff like activating the Revenant Champ and coming in is my goal of, all right, well, I need to make sure that I'm actually getting in and removing models. Unfortunately, it becomes a situation of, that's cool, but I'm going to just kill your models in return. And that's unfortunate for me. I do manage to tough. Yay! So I still have a model around, but he's on 1 hit point, which means he's only contributing 1 hit point to scoring.
Yeah, and so all that whole time I was talking about like kind of playing conservatively, things like that. You retain control of the tombstones as you leave them, so I still have that one in the bottom. And now Lanyssa, I believe, Cylena out healths you on the other one.
Correct.
And whichever cat that is out healths you on the center one.
Correct.
So I ended up holding quite a few more tombs than I really anticipated.
Yeah, was that originally in your plan to walk away with basically 3 of the 5 objectives?
No, I just wanted to murder you.
Everything goes right. Unfortunately, I also was not prepared, because now I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't get the bear ghoul towards the back objective. My other guy is not able to, or I mean, theoretically, I guess, could walk back to the other objective, but I wanted to kill you too. So I'm not necessarily putting myself in a good place for scoring any of the actual missions, which, in case you're new to Warmachine, your mission points are important, and you should always be scoring them.
Yeah, unlike 40k, where it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, so Veer goes up, he smacks the other, I don't know what your skeleton dudes are called, skeleton dude. He probably does some damage, who knows.
Skeleton dude. You know what? It's technically accurate.
Best kind of accurate. Alright, and then, was this Mordrith, I think is the guy's name? I just call him Kylo Ren, because he reminds me of Kylo Ren. And he knocks off the punk.
Yeah. So we're kind of, we have a bit of whittling down here. I think you're down to 5 models, and one of them is not too terribly long for the world. And I'm down to 4, and 2 of them are not too terribly long for the world. There's that non-linear charge.
Yep. So there's Windrush for you. You just pop her forward, do the charge. She did feat this turn. I don't think I crit anything, so I don't think it mattered. And I am just going full send on Anathia.
And I think you feated this turn, didn't you?
I did, yeah. And then I'm going to reposition away and also take
onto the objective.
Because
you already had a bunch, so why not more?
Yeah, so I believe I did leave her on only a couple wounds at this point, which kind of solidifies my control of the center.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of the challenges with the transfers. It makes you weaker to score.
Flip side is you're definitely going first.
Yep, I am. So we will go into the next turn, 4 to 6. You picked up Breakthrough as your scorecard, and I picked up Hit and Run. So I have not feated yet, and because I'm suffering greatly, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I believe you used the Old Faithful card to heal your cat.
So Kitty is back to full. I was able to, like Spirit Force or whatever, get a couple things off the, couple Fury off the dead cat, and then fully Reeve off the live cat. And then you're doing all your nonsense Vengeance.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Vengeance, it's A, you don't roll too terribly well, and B, the toughness of the Nis is so high, it becomes problematic to actually get those Vengeances to stick. But I'll never oh, hey, look at that. Accurate and...
That's one way of taking care of her.
Yeah, just knock models over. I'm going to move this here to my advantage now.
That's just, it's not really their toughness, it's their defense.
Defense, sorry. Yeah, because they don't even have tough. The defense is a bit high for me to hit, and I think I run into that challenge.
Not right here.
Up until the end. Oops. Spoke that too soon. It is normally a challenge for me. It's one of those things where sometimes these games blend together. So I think what I'm going to end up doing in this situation is I need to activate the barrel ghoul to get the fury on him so that I can feed Anathia's feet turn when she ends up pulling the fury off. I'd like to kill the beast so that I can score that central objective, because like you pointed out, like if you're currently going to have more hit points on it, I can't necessarily score it. I'm not engaging Lanyssa, so I need to probably have the barrel ghoul punch I think I just moved the tokens so I can figure out how things are. Oh, you went.
Yeah, this is just Lanyssa going back in again.
Okay.
If at first you don't succeed, try
again. Absolutely.
And the point of this is to just, even if you transfer, it's still damage on the barrel ghoul.
Yeah. I think I kind of had to. I think I was so low on hit points. If I didn't it was one of those forced transfers. If I didn't, I was just dead anyways. I think once or twice you might have hit me with like 1 or 2 that I soak. Where are you going here? You moved out. Where are you going?
1 to take your deployment zone to score.
Oh.
And then, yeah, the second part is to kind of split. Now Anathia has 3 different directions, and she doesn't know which way she wants to go.
Oh, that non-linear approach
again.
again.
To Lanyssa? Do you go forwards to the kitty? Do you go over to the other 2 idiots? Apparently send the barrel ghoul in to the other 2 idiots instead. This is hilarious. So he comes in and he decides to pop Fear. Now Fear, all he has to do is not die to this magically, and he has Retaliatory Strike. You do it perfectly, so he lives on 1 box. Look at that beautiful damage roll.
Yeah, this is
very unhappy.
This is just me trying to feed. So I killed the first
I'm
one,
just trying to clean him up.
And then I'm trying to go into Veer, and I think Veer
just
like
botch it.
punches me in the mouth for my bad attitude.
Yes, you leave him on 1. I Retaliatory Strike you back, and I leave you on 1.
Leave me on 1. The battle of the ones.
I'm pretty okay with you killing off Kylo Ren though. That was a terrible movie.
But the advantage is I have fueled him up to prepare for Anathia's feat.
Correct.
She
He's
still has
to go on in.
Yeah, she still has some transfers though.
We're gonna work on it. It just puts so much into your caster this game. She has survived so much.
She's got such a. I mean, you would think this fragile little skeletal woman is could just die to a stiff breeze. She's actually really resilient. So I believe I didn't transfer. I just soaked what I could because I think I'd healed some. I'd used some fury to heal at the very beginning, but I'm kind of looking at the situation of, do I position myself to go after, and this is probably, I would argue, is where I probably might have screwed up the most in this. Not that it's the only time I screwed up, but I tried positioning myself for Lanyssa and Benkei when I think it would have been more advantageous for me to go after Benkei and Veer, but just make sure I was outside of Veer's retaliatory range.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that. Don't worry about Fear. He's harmless.
So,
and he already used retaliatory strike on your golem. The hilarious part is I still have spring blades.
Yep. So when I take off points, I'm taking off the point for transfer and the point for the damage coming in, or the hit and the transfer that I'm expecting back. I'm kind of looking at the one of the advantages that I've had prior was my scoring wasn't that strong, which means as soon as I score an objective, I'm automatically scoring 1 and more.
Yeah, the one that kind of blew me up last turn was that because I had 4 objectives the previous turn, I had to get all 5 of them to score again, and that wasn't happening. So you whittled me down, so now I only had 1 objective in the middle, so now I just have to grab a second one. So you actually helped me out quite a bit there.
So I believe I used my Old Faithful card to heal on this round.
Yes.
Just to make sure that I popped it off, and I think I popped it off at the beginning, but maybe I didn't. I'm trying to remember this one. Who's attacking here? Is that Benkei?
I believe it was Lanyssa.
Oh, okay.
Continuing to do failure.
I use one of the accursed. I basically move up to the objective. It is both my 1, my more, and my spirit all in one move.
I mean, perfect. Yeah.
So we score 8-7. There's still stuff on the table. I'm impressed, honestly, because that last round I was expecting a lot of things to die. And actually, would it be more? No, I don't think it was more. Now I'm struggling to remember. I apologize. The biggest thing I kind of, I wanted to take away from this is, oh, here we go. We were looking for spirits. We'd forgotten to do it in the beginning. And I'd lucked into the one that was on was a spirit. Right. I have to let these. So we start up. We've healed. We're good to go. I think you go first. Is that correct?
Let's see. Yeah, I think the hot debate with Lanyssa is, do you upkeep the spell on the cat to try to keep it alive a little bit longer, or do you just keep all the focus to try to, this is going to be definitely the time that I finish off Anathia. Not the previous 18 times.
Yeah, because we're in the last round. If you're gonna do it, you need to do it now.
Yeah, because it'll also cripple your golem.
Yep.
So, Lanyssa goes in. Lanysa's doing her thing. She's still rolling. Yeah. But she does finally get the job done. She's got Blood Boon, so she's able to Windrush herself, and then start swinging on your golem as well.
Windrush is such a good spell to Blood Boon.
It is.
So
she's got
you end up
position also.
I was gonna say you end up picking up Anathia, and you end up picking up the Bear Ghoul, and I'm like, cool. I'm not doing anything. I guess I'm just gonna score secondaries now, or score my points.
There's nothing that's getting over there to your champions, so be safe.
Yeah, I think the only thing, obviously, the gentleman in the behind the woods on the objective can't really be seen. Like, you have Pathfinder, but you're not gonna be able to pull off the gain the distance on charge just from the perspective of you have to be able to see him. That's where I'm kind of asking there is like, hey, does he have any way of actually seeing or just flat moving to get into range? And then I realized that he could probably go after the Reaver champion, so he makes a tactical retreat to the maximum of 3 inches that he can.
Yeah, and if he runs away, obviously Lanyssa repoed behind the wall because she's just petrified.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of just going through the motions of these are our final positions. I will pick up 2. You will pick up 4 for having new and more. You are on a spirit, and you do pick up the hit and run card since you are right next to the big giant house. That kind of finishes out our game. A very, very close game from the perspective of we are a 10-11, so a 1-point difference. You gotta love it.
Yeah, that was a brutal, brutal attrition match. Definitely appreciate you all watching.
And we'll see you in Game 2 of this narrative series.
Reproduced missive from Lanyssa Ryssyl, Aransor of Sorrows, to Moraine, the Blade of Twilight. Sourced, Archives of High Lore Seeker Mathis.
I tried to stop them, but they know the way.
Archivist's note. I apologize for the vexing brevity of the Aransor's missives.